toasted cookies.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
Well, I guess Mike wants to talk about the fucking arcade game. I was hoping to talk about the comic books. Those guys were truly badass. They're not some pizza-eating, robot-fighting wimps like these guys.
We can talk about both of them, Skippy-san. As you can see, I am here wearing the red bandana that the Ninja Turtles in the comic book wore. Plus, they also drank beer. They did not eat pizza.
First, let me apologize to all the Asian people watching this. Mike's being a really offensive asshole right now. We thought it'd be funny. Anyway, let's go on with the show.
Hi, Skippy-san. Forgive me, but I have coronavirus.
Oh, too soon, man! Too soon!
Okay, for one, I was trying to sound like Master Splinter from the cartoon series. And for two, you know how often that particular accent has been used throughout all of American cinema?
Yeah, it's a good thing we don't get involved in those kind of stereotypes. Huh. Oops. Did y'all slice up my chickens? I love me some chickens. Giggity, giggity, giggity. No, we were talking about turtles. Oh yeah, I love me some turtle man.
Hey, as Will Smith says, let's get a jiggy with it.
In 1983, in Northampton, Massachusetts, two little-known comic book artists, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, were trying to figure out a good idea for a comic book. Well, Kevin Eastman decided, hey, let's draw a turtle standing on its hind legs, wearing a mask with nunchucks strapped to its arms, and write Ninja Turtle on top of the page. Laird thought this was hilarious, and he kind of smoothed out the edges a little bit more of the drawing. Eventually, the two of them collaborated and decided to draw 4 turtles, and each turtle had a different weapon that they thought ninjas might carry into battle with them. Eventually, the Ninja Turtles title was turned into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it became an excellent comic book that sold 3,000 copies with its first issue. There are also many references to Marvel Comics superhero Daredevil, which Eastman and Laird were big fans of. For example, in the first Daredevil, Matt Murdock sees a truck coming towards an old man, and when Murdock knocks the man out of the way, the truck swerves and a canister with some radioactive substance hits Murdock in the face, causing him to become blind, and of course eventually leads to him using his heightened senses to become the famous superhero Daredevil. It's been said that they took that idea and ran with it, and that's how they created the Ninja Turtles.
What do you mean it's been said? That's exactly what happened. It shows right in the comic strip that originally Matt Murdock got hit with the canister, and then it says, unbeknownst to people watching, it also hit a small boy holding 4 baby turtles.
No need to get a panties in bunch. Comb titties. That is what happened. That is where they met their master Splinter. In the sewers.
Whose original name was Hamato Yoshi. He escaped to America from Japan because he was exiled by the Foot Clan for being betrayed by his supposed friend, Oroku Saki, who becomes Shredder.
The epic stories of the Turtles and the Foot Clan fighting Shredder as its leader carried on to be quite a great success, and eventually they attracted the attention of a toy company. Playmates Toys saw the success that the Turtles were having with Eastman and Laird and offered a lucrative toy deal to them, which at first they didn't accept because Eastman and Laird wanted to hold on to the creative rights of the Turtles. Also, Playmates wanted to change how rough and gritty the comic books were and turn it into a marketing campaign by creating a cartoon series. The comics portrayed the Turtles as drinking beer to unwind after fighting the Foot Clan, and understandably, Playmates Toys didn't want to make a cartoon series with a bunch of mutant teenage turtles drinking beer. So instead of them drinking beer, they had them eat pizza. And instead of them having all red bandanas and only able to be differentiated by the weapons they used, they had them each wear different colored bandanas and have their initial on a belt buckle that they wore. 1987, Murakami Wolf Swenson greenlighted the project and they started the cartoon, known as TMNT 87 here in the United States, whereas in Europe it was known as TMHT because they wanted to change the word ninja in the title to hero because the word ninja was considered too violent for a children's series in Europe. In 1988, Playmates then swiftly followed up with its own toy line. And then, in June 1989, Ultra Games came out with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES. Here it shows Leonardo with his katana blades and blue bandana. Then goes right on to Raphael with his weapon the Sai and his red bandana. And wait for it, Michelangelo with his orange bandana and nunchucks. Party dude. And last but not least, Donatello with his weapon the bow and his purple bandanas, the inventor. All four turtles are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And you see here, Splinter points out, "Oh, Shredder has April O'Neil. What a surprise!" That's usually what happens in these shows. You press start, and you begin with a bird's eye view out in the city. You go down into the sewers, and we're playing as Leonardo fighting some Mousers. Sorry, I haven't played this game in a while, so I'm not that great at it. And you can press start and change to other turtles. And the great thing about this is if one of your turtles runs low on life, you can switch to another turtle and they have a full life bar. And that life bar sticks with each individual turtle. So you can switch to another turtle if you're not doing so well with one of them and use a different weapon and have more life. There's also pickups such as pizza, which replenish your health. If it was based on the comic book, it'd be beer. But it's based on the cartoon, and they wanted to make it for kids, so it's pizza. And then later that same year in November, not to be outdone, Konami had to come out with an arcade port. As you can see, the graphics are almost just like watching the cartoon. It has the beginning just like the cartoon series. You can pick between the 4 different turtles depending on which joystick you decide to get behind in the arcade port. I decided to go with Leonardo. He's always been my favorite. The beginning sequence shows where the news agency where April works at is on fire. The turtles come to the rescue. Michelangelo kind of landed wrong. So there's a fire, we gotta get April out. The sound, the music, the graphics, all phenomenal. You get to kick butt, fighting foot soldiers, flinging them around, hitting them with your weapon. And you come up to the stairs after I beat these foot soldiers. Just a button masher, typical arcade game. So we fling them around, and it says, "Hurry! The place is on fire!" Lo and behold, there's giant bowling balls falling down the stairs. So you fight your way from one end of the floor to the other, and eventually you reach Rocksteady, coming out of one of the drills that the Foot Clan used. He has his assault rifle, which you have to dodge shots from. He also can kick you. So you just basically have to avoid the gunfire and keep hitting him as he blinks. And that was the way of showing what the life bar was for a boss in these games, was the faster they change colors, closer to dying they become. And eventually I beat him. And I think, oh wait, what the heck? Shredder came and took April away. Like I said, these things are predictable. So scene 2, you go through town, and oh, look at there. You can slice at things and use the different, say, parking meters or sewer manholes as weapons, along with fire hydrants against the Foot Clan. They're really ahead of their time with this game. It was quite the button masher. And throughout the game, you come up against bosses such as Bebop. You're dead, Shellbrain. These characters never existed in the comic books, by the way. Here's another example. Baxter Stockman, who ended up becoming a mutant fly in the cartoon series. He was also the creator of the Mousers in the cartoon series as well. After a few more unremarkable boss fights, come to the Technodrome, where you meet Brang, interdimensional warlord from Dimension X. You fight him in his battle suit as he tries to crush you and burn you with his laser eyes. Then it's on to Shredder, and he's hard because he uses these blasts which turn you into a baby turtle and reverse the mutagen's effect. So you keep fighting him, both clones, until finally he's defeated. Shredder beaten at last. The Technodrome crumbles, blows up, and you beat the game. Hot damn.
Okay, you got it out of your system talking about the arcade game. What about the rest?
That, Skippy-san, is a tale for another donkey. Until next time, sayonara.